one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ready. Adoption of the agenda. I think we're good on that, aren't we? Public comment? You got a chance. Yeah, okay.
Get another one later.
You get another one later. Select board announcements? Dave? Well, town administrators report.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do want to remind everyone on this cold evening that there's an annual fundraiser for the town's heating assistance program being held at Cook's this Saturday. So if people are interested, it's always just a really wonderful group of people who get together and show a lot of support for fundraising for that effort.
Go to breakfast at the Grange and supper at Cook's.
There you go.
What time is it?
Oh, gosh, off the top of my head, I'm not sure what time it is. It's an evening.
4
I
to
want to
6.
say
Yeah,
4.
It's an ongoing thing. It's silent auction and all
Yeah.
that stuff.
I want to say
You
4
can go
o'clock.
anytime you want.
on-
I think
Yeah,
4 to 8, 4 to 6.
yeah, something
Yeah.
like that.
Wouldn't be later than 8.
And then the other item I wanted to bring to the board's attention, we had a Harpswell resident reach out and suggest that she would like to propose that a tree be lit on Orr's Island on town property. It would be Devil's Back on the east side, I believe. And this is Mary Coombs who has submitted her request to have a memorial tree, to have it lit, for a period of time through
Lit
the
with
winter.
what? There's no power there.
Well, solar lights. She
that's
has
an option,
solar
sure,
lights,
yeah.
and she has asked Tim Vale if he would put the lights up. I
Of course
believe
he will.
he's willing to do it, but obviously she needs permission from the town to put that up on
I so
town
move.
property.
Yeah, that answers my question. So second,
All in favor?
Okay, thank
She
you.
did the bridge several years ago, the Billy Allen Bridge.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Put lights on it?
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
It looked nice.
It did.
Okay. Was it along the railing? Is that, oh,
Yeah.
there
you
you
see
go.
it from over on the other side, looking across? After that,
Not where I live.
I remember when I put lights on the water tower, people thought it was a flying saucer hovering over.
Oh, I
Harpswell.
do remember that.
You and I did that.
Yeah,
you.
right.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That concludes my report. Thank you.
The consent agenda. With consent.
We'll move the consent agenda, which is the approval of the minutes, a committee appointment. I thought Mike was on that committee, but Mike Bernier. He has been before, right?
He has been before.
And authorization of the warrants.
so seconded.
All in favor?
Right.
December holiday schedule.
So this usually is something the board considers. We have a policy that allows the town employees to have a half a day off on the 24th, and then obviously the 25th off. Same thing, New Year's Eve, it's, half a day that we get off.
At the discretion
At
of
the
the select.
discretion of the select board, thank
Yep.
you. And then the first day of the new year. So I think we're just wondering if the board is sticking with that proposal or that practice that's in the policy, or,
I'll be discreet.
Half day Christmas Eve, and Christmas Day and the day after. So,
The 26th as well.
yes,
That's what we did last year, right? Yeah.
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yes, we did.
I'm good with that, yeah.
That's fine.
okay, and that would
Work
apply.
the second though, right?
What's that?
On the January 2nd, that Friday, not off. We're off.
No.
Yeah. Just the 26th.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just-
And half day on the 31st?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
Right.
And
All
back
right.
to work on Friday.
And this applies to recycling center also,
Yep.
correct? Town office and
That
recycling.
Chuck
I will.
Curry has to do.
Wonderful, thank you. I'm sure our
Right.
employees will appreciate that.
All right, treasurer matters.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's multiple items. The first one is the board had previously approved sending out an invitation to bid for the financing for the Mitchell Field boat launch. We have a reserve for that, but we did need some additional funding, and voters approved this bond. It was sent out to 7 banks. One person had moved on, and I was unable to connect with her replacement. And then one responded that they only do general obligation bonds for 5 years. And then there were a couple that I never heard back from. But 2 responses were received. And it is, I've sent them off to the attorney. She's already reviewed them and has already provided this resolution to authorize issuance of $1,150,000 excuse me, $1,000 in general obligation bonds for a new boat launch at Mitchell Field. And that would be selecting, there were 2 responses, as I said, Androscoggin Bank, the interest at 5.39%, and Bath Savings at 5.64%, recommending that we proceed with Androscoggin Bank. And if the board agrees, if you would please, the attorney said you do not need to read the 4 pages of the resolution,
Get a lumper.
but to please read the motion.
Okay. But it doesn't include Androscoggin in the motion. How would-
And please, you
Yeah.
can say with Androscoggin.
So I move that the resolution entitled Resolution to Authorize Issuance of $1,150,000 in General Obligation Bonds for a new boat launch at Mitchell Field be adopted in the form presented to this meeting, and that an attested copy of said resolution be filed with the minutes of this meeting, and move Androscoggin Bank.
So seconded.
I see no discussion. All in favor?
Right.
Just like that.
The parking lot or another thing. What do you think? Or just-
Yes. Okay, and then the next item is, as the board is aware and voters had approved a $6 million bond for a central emergency services building here on Mountain Road, right up by the transfer recycling center. And responses were received, as you know, and interviews will be taking place. And the town's architects had provided the town a projected cash flow. And after doing the analysis between joining the Maine Municipal Bond Bank's borrowing in the spring or issuing our own bonds, the difference was not mentionable, I shall say. And so I asked the board, and the board agreed that we would be applying to the Maine Municipal Bond Bank in the spring issue, so funds would be available at the end of May. The contractor will soon be selected, and we do need to have a bond anticipation note financing, which the municipal borrowing state statute allows. If voters approve an actual borrowing, the actual bond itself, that it allows you to issue notes in the interim for waiting for the actual permanent financing. So that request is here before you for me to send out an invitation to bid for up to $1.5 million. We don't, based on the cash flow, it doesn't seem like all of that would be needed, but if things go faster, we obviously want the funding available, and we'll only draw down on an as-needed basis. I will say, though, the invitation to bid that was posted online had not had the opportunity to be reviewed by the attorney. It since then has been reviewed by the attorney. And lots of things have changed since that last bond anticipation note borrowing format that we used in 2017. I say a lot of things have changed. It's really just some added legal language, and I'm still making a couple of minor changes to make it clear that it's a drawdown. But prior to issuing it, I'll send out the final invitation to bid to the select board, but it has the same the matters in it about the due dates and having to provide the interest on the same basis, and it's really just some wording rearrangements. So it's not significant, but I will make sure that the board gets a final copy of that. So I am seeking your approval to send out this invitation to bid.
I'll so move.
So seconded.
No discussion. All in favor?
Good evening, Terry Gaudette, the town's treasurer, here to report to the select board on the town's finances as of November 30th, 2025. The board has been provided with revenue distribution control report, a appropriation control report, and a trial balance, and this is a condensed summary of those three reports. And as of November 30th, the town's cash balances was just over $4.8 million. Outstanding 2025 taxes was just over $5 million, which reflected a $568,000 in payments in the month of November. And since then, lots of payments have been coming in since the next due date is December 15th. The 2024 taxes as of November 30th was $25,000. And as of, November 30th, the outstanding taxes relating to the 2023 liens was $3,500, which represented more than the two parcels, but we did receive some payments in December so far, and so we are down to two parcels that would be subject to automatic foreclosure if those liens remain unpaid. Spoken with both those owners, and I believe that the payments will be made in plenty of time.
Oh, okay.
And of course, there's 4 trailers with liens that the town does not complete the automatic foreclosure on the trailers, but the 2 with their parcels, I'm sure they'll come through on those payments. On the revenue and expense item side, non-property tax revenue available to reduce taxes is $3.1 million, which we have made is 101% of the forecast, so we've met our forecast. Any revenue in excess of that would be available in the unassigned fund balance for other uses, such as reducing the tax commitment, including the individual line items that have exceeded the forecast individually. And there are some items that appear to be quite underspent, but it's due to timing, like the second payment of the franchise fee. We'll actually receive that in 2026, but we will record an account for that in 2025 when we get an estimate at the end of December for that. Permits are behind the forecast, and that may likely be due to the incredible increase we saw in 2024 due to the January storms. Donations appear to be quite lower than normal, but our largest donation typically comes from that doesn't have a specific use. I should make that clear, that it's just allowed for use in the unassigned fund balance, because of course we have great donations for specified uses such as heating assistance, but the non-specified use donations, Bowdoin College usually makes that payment in late December, so that is showing quite behind the forecast. But we have met our forecast, which is great. With respect to the expenditures, all monthly contracts, appear to be completely expended due to the timing of paying the December payments. There are a few accounts being monitored for possible use of contingency, but things are being monitored and only buying what's needed. And then some accounts appear to be underspent due to the timing of payments. And then, of course, in 2025, our reserve expenditures were related to the town's HVAC system, the Potts Point Town Dock Replacement Project, the Central Emergency Services Building, and the Recycling Center Phase 2 project, and Mitchell Field Boat Launch and Capitol Road projects. ARPA has to be fully expended by the end of 2026, and we will fully expend that actually in the spring of 2026. So we will certainly meet those standards. And you will see on your individual appropriation control report that I've added some FEMA expense lines. And so, Mike Drake worked hard to complete all those applications and get the money in there. And so 10% now is only coming from our capital accounts, and then the 90% is coming from the FEMA accounts for tracking. So our pre-audit, the items necessary to conduct the pre-audit with the town's auditors have been uploaded to them. They will begin that shortly. And then, of course, we hit the ground running January 1st on, on our full audit. So my door is always open if there's any questions, and thank you.
Thanks, Terry. Public comment again? No. Other business?
I don't think so, no. I mean,
Nothing?
I will just give an update on, the board realizes that there's a team, including myself, Mike Drake, and the 2 fire chiefs, and Port City Architecture. We'll be interviewing probably 3 or 4 firms. There were 14 that responded to building our central station, and we've whittled it down to 6. And we're meeting tomorrow to see if we can get it down to 3 or 4, because each interview is like an hour. So,
Well,
I mean,
yeah.
we want to make sure we're doing, a good job of reviewing kind of the strongest proposals that are kind of,
Yep.
here before us, and then seeing if we can get it down to 3 or 4 before we have those interviews, which are happening next week. And then we hope to have a recommendation to you at your next board meeting 2 weeks from tonight. So some really good quality firms in Maine. I think we're in a good position at the moment.
Good.
Right, great, thanks. In that case, we're adjourned.